All right, here we go. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. Sorry about the little technical issue we had there, but we are primed and ready to go. My name is Dusty Davidson. I'm the owner of Showtime Travel Agency. We're an award-winning Dream Vacations franchise, and we are very pleased that you're here with us tonight. I am so excited because if there's anything I love more than Bo and my dog, it is talking travel and AmaWaterways. And so I'm so excited that Ama is with us tonight. Um, we have traveled the world, traveled a lot. We've got people all over the place with us tonight for this viewing, for this webinar. Uh, we've got a viewing party in Austin with David and Chuck, Mike, Kendall, Michael, Will, Jess, Ben, Ron, Char, Jess, and Vic. And I hear Char, Jess, and Vic are like the pickleball players extraordinaire. So I have a few people here that might question that, but we'll see. And at Hidden Springs Brewery, I know we've got some people out there watching. So really appreciate you being here tonight. I'm excited about it. I've traveled on the waterways multiple times, and I can tell you it is an experience like no other. If you're a fan of cruising, you're going to love river cruising. It just takes the whole cruising experience to another level, and Ama does it the right way. We've traveled multiple times, and each time we come back feeling like we were part of a big family. And it's kind of like going to camp where you get to know everybody there and you have a really good time. You're treated really, really well by all the crew. They are amazing. You never want for anything the whole time you're on board. And it is just truly a remarkable, remarkable experience. Ama has been one of my favorite cruise lines since I discovered them. And one reason for that is, being a guest on board, I fell in love with them, but also being a travel advisor and working with them. They are extraordinary partners for us in the travel industry. And so on behalf of Dream Vacations and our franchise, we love them and appreciate all that they do for us. And speaking of extraordinary, Columba.
Well, thanks for that
We're excited to have Columba here with us tonight.
Thanks so much, Dusty. It's great to be here. You're talking about AmaWaterways, and I totally agree. As an employee here for the past 12 years, I came from the big ships. I worked for Carnival many years ago, Holland America, most recently Royal Caribbean. And, I'm here based in New York, and those ships just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I couldn't take the pressure anymore. So it's so nice to be with a small river cruise company where everybody counts. You're not just a number. It's just an unreal experience. So I'm glad you feel the same way I do about the product. Now it's just a matter of us talking to your clients here tonight and convincing them. So I'm not sure how many of you might have been on a river cruise before. And before I start, just some of you might have come on late. If you have questions, you can hold them to the end, or if you want to type them in the chat box, we'll definitely get to them. But I'm definitely going to talk to you a little bit about who we are as a company and how we differ from the big ships. Because like I said, I'm not sure who has been on a river cruise, who has not. I know that Dusty has sold a lot of us, obviously, and he's got some group space. And some of you may be booked, but it might be a first time, second time, that I'm not sure of. So when we look at river cruising and the difference between ocean and river, oceans take you to countries, rivers take you through them. That's our saying, because we feel that, when you look at the map, you'll get to really see it. But all the big ships take you around the continent, where we're taking through the heart of Europe. So this is a gorgeous shot of one of our ships that's sailing along the beautiful Moselle River. If you've never cruised because you're worried about getting seasick or something, you don't have to worry about that on a river cruise. It's as smooth as can be. The only time you'll feel a little bump is when you're going through the many locks along the way, because that's really another very interesting facet of river cruising, the locks that you will go through along the many rivers of Europe. So what is that red line all of a sudden I'm seeing? That's weird. Do you see a red line, Dusty? Right there where my cursor is? I see a red line. I'm not sure what that is, but I apologize. For those of you that never heard of AmaWaterways, because we're not, the biggest river cruise company out there. We've been around since 2002. We've been around for 23 years now. Our owners, Rudy Schreiner and Christine Karst and Gary Murphy, whose dad was one of the original partners. He has since passed away, and Gary has taken over the helm there. So it's these three people that make up AmaWaterways executive team. So Rudy hails from Austria, Christine from Germany, Gary by way of, he's from Ireland, his father, but he was actually born in Staten Island. So I think that's pretty funny. But these are the people that make up AmaWaterways. Rudy and Christine actually worked for our major competitor for years before they decided to develop and build AmaWaterways. And it is Ama. Ama means love. It's a Latin term for love. And they put their heart and soul into this business. Another thing that's different about this business is that river cruising is all we do. So you'll find other river cruise companies that have big ships, little ships, they own hotels, they are a tour operator, lots of different, facets to their business. River cruising is all we do. We do it well, and we pride ourselves in that. And because of Rudy and Christine's connections in the heart of Europe, having been from that part of the world, we offer lots of wonderful exclusive experiences that other companies might not be able to. So again, looking at the map now, because I said we sail through the heart of Europe. So from the North Sea to the Black Sea, all these little blue lines you see are all the different rivers of Europe. So the big ships, they have to go all the way around, all the way around. We take it through the heart. So the most popular rivers for us are the Rhine River, the Danube, but then we have wonderful itineraries in France. We've got 2 beautiful itineraries and 3 ships in Portugal. And then we also have some exotic destinations, which I'm just going to touch upon in case you have any interest. But again, Europe is really the bulk. But if you have interest in the others, definitely talk to Dusty. If you'd like to set up another one of these with more detail about those exotics, we can definitely do that. So one of our exotics is Asia. It's actually the Mekong River. So we sail Vietnam and Cambodia. Beautiful, beautiful ship. It's 120 guests along the Mekong River, which is a fantastic trip. We have a tiny ship in South Africa that sails on the Chobe River. So we offer 5 different itineraries in Africa. And when people are looking for Africa, what are they looking for? They're looking for the wildlife, the safari experience, those great lodges you stay at. We give you all of that, but we put a little different spin on it by offering a 5-night cruise on the Chobe River, which is densely populated with elephants and about 350 species of birds. Fantastic trips. Those itineraries in Africa, you cannot do just the cruise. You have to book the whole package as is. Where in other destinations like Europe, like Vietnam, you don't have to book the pre and the post. But we'll talk a little bit more about that too in Europe. Our other destination, which we launched a few years ago, was Egypt. We have 2 small ships, 37 staterooms, sailing on the beautiful Nile River. Spectacular trip. It's 7 nights on the Nile. Again, you have to do a 3-night pre in Cairo, which you would want to do anyway. Who would go all the way to Africa and not get to Cairo, and then a post in Cairo. We also offer pre and post land extensions there to Jordan and Dubai. For Africa, we offer pre or post extension to Rwanda. With Vietnam, we offer pre or post extension to Bangkok. And our newest destination, launching in just a few weeks, which I'm very excited about, AmaWaterways will be the very first river cruise company sailing in South America that's not the Amazon. We're going to be sailing in Colombia on the Magdalena River. So river cruising there kind of died out in the early 60s, and nobody has done this since. We are building 2 beautiful ships, 30 staterooms, that will sail from Cartagena to Barranquilla or vice versa. 7-night cruises with pre and post Cartagena, Medellin, or a post package in Panama City. So really excited about those. But again, we're talking tonight about the heart of our business, the heart of Europe, where the bulk of our ships go. And we have a total of 27 ships in our fleet currently and growing, not in leaps and bounds like some of the other companies out there, but slowly and steadily. And I will say that it's a solid company. Rudy is, very European. He's very prideful. Every ship is paid for. We're a debt-free company. Now, looking at what the staterooms look like, because again, I'm not sure if any of you have ever been on a river cruise, but we're talking about a ship with only 3 decks of staterooms, and then a top deck that's open air. We're not talking 16 stories, 3 football fields, small, intimate. Our ships carry an average of 156 guests in Europe. So this is our minimum stateroom. We have no such thing as an inside. You'll have at least a window, or as you see here. Nicely appointed staterooms. The beds can be together or apart. You'll have a TV with movies on demand that are complimentary. You'll have your safe deposit box, of course, the bathroom. The beds can be together or apart. You let us know. When we talk about what's included with AmaWaterways, you'll always have bottled water in your stateroom. We've done away with the single-use plastics that you see here, so it'll be glass bottles that are refilled. So really nicely appointed staterooms. So this is the minimum. The next step up would be our French balcony. So this is pretty much the same size, but for those of you that think a little bit too claustrophobic in those window staterooms, this is the next up. You can slide the doors open, but you can't actually step out. But beautiful views. So if you like more light, this may be an option for you. The next step up from that is our innovative design that Rudy came up with when he was designing the ships for AmaWaterways. As you can see on the left, there's a step-out balcony with 2 chairs and a table, and on the right, there's a French balcony. So depending on the time of the year, depending on if you want to be totally outside, if you just want to open the door and sit inside, but nicely appointed. Every category, you'll have bathrobe and slippers waiting for you. Again, the TV, your safe deposit box, and all of the amenities that you come to expect. Nice little reading lights on the side, USB ports. Then we've got our suites. So on the suites, we've got a full-size queen bed sofa here on the left, and on the other side of this room or the other side of the wall would be the bedding. So AmaWaterways is unique in the fact that we partnered in 2015 with Disney. So Disney uses our ships for their program under Adventures by Disney. They have about 25 departures where they do a full ship charter and they welcome families on board. So starting from that partnership and all ships built in 2016, we have true triples, quads, and connecting staterooms on those ships. Now, I don't want you to think, people say, oh, no, there's kids on the ship. I don't want that. No. This is not like a Royal Caribbean ship. Kids are not going to be running amok. The way we look at it is kids nowadays, they've been traveling too. They've been on the big ships. They don't need a rock climbing wall, an ice skating rink, and all those bells and whistles. When you're sailing through the gorgeous areas that we're taking you to, where the grandparents or the parents want to experience a different culture altogether. You know, they're done with the palm trees. They want to take their kids to see real history, real castles, real palaces. It's a fantastic vacation for multi-generational. And that's why we love the fact that Disney is our partner. They've brought many families to us, but maybe the kids, you know, are not into that Disney stuff so much. They just want a real vacation. Then you can sail with AmaWaterways on all of our ships built from 2016 to modern day. Other things that we feature that our major competitors do not. Now, as I mentioned, we carry 156 guests average on our ships. My major competitor is carrying 190 guests. So they don't have these little bells and whistles. They are basically staterooms, dining room, showroom. We have a pool up on the top deck for people to come and enjoy. In the winter months, this is a heated pool, so people enjoy it even in the winter months. We have a masseuse on board our ships. We have a hairdresser. We have gyms on all of our ships. We have wellness coaches that will get you up in the morning, do a little core strengthening, resistance band training. They will also accompany you on the more athletic kind of excursions, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. But we offer a lot more. So I like to say, having come from the big ships, that we offer everything the big ships have, except for the crowds and no casino. But otherwise, we've got everything that you would come to expect from a big ship. Talking about shore excursions. You know, a lot of people, when I first came here, they said, oh, river cruising, I don't know. All you see is churches, town square, and city hall. I'm like, well, you do see a lot of that, I will admit, but our excursions are different. And what's different about the way we operate our excursions is when you look at the day-by-day itinerary, every excursion that's listed is included. Okay, so let me say that again. Every excursion is included. So unlike the big ships where you have to pay for every excursion, ours are included. Will you have time to do them all? Unfortunately not, but it's about the luxury of having the choice. Most of my competitors will say city tour. You say, okay, but I want to do the bike tour. They'll say, oh, well, for that, there's an additional charge. Oh, I want to do the hiking tour. Oh, well, for that, there's an additional charge. So we include everything. And when I say, you know, it's not just about churches, town square, and city hall, you could see some of the pictures here. We take you to vineyards, we take you tasting options. When we do the walking tours in the cities, we do them at different paces. So you have gentle walker, regular, and active. You choose the pace, and we take you ashore in small groups. So we don't have 50 little ducklings following the tour guide. If 50 people sign up for the same excursion with us, you're broken up into smaller groups. So there's a 20 or less in each group. So it's a really nice, civilized way to experience. And, you know, another thing that people talk about is they say, well, you know, you're in a port every day. Sometimes we're in port sometimes, excuse me, some days you're in 2 ports in one day. So you will have those choices if you're in the morning tour or the afternoon tour, still 3 to 4 choices in each port, not each day. So something to take into consideration. So after you're touring all day, you go to your stateroom, you relax a little bit. The main lounge is where this is the main meeting point. So unlike the big ships, we don't have multiple lounges. We don't have a martini bar and a comedy club. This is the catch-all room for everything, where everything happens. You'll come here for your embarkation talk, debarkation talk. You'll come here for your pre-dinner cocktail party, which I'm going to talk about. You'll see that there's a piano here. So every night there's a piano player that's on before dinner, after the entertainment in the evening, because we do have entertainment. And then you'll see here like a station, a buffet station. We have, of course, our main dining room where all your meals are served. But if you're not the type for a big breakfast, you just want something light, you want something quick, you can come here for a light continental breakfast in the morning. You can come here for a light lunch. Maybe you don't feel like sitting course through course. You just want something to nibble. You can come here for a light lunch. We have snacks in the afternoon, and then we have late night snacks in the evening. But this lounge is at the very, very front of the ship. So when you're sailing through the gorgeous areas that we're taking you through, because as I said, you're going to see land at all times. This is where you want to be if the weather's not great up on the top deck, because the top deck is really where you want to be. You don't want to be in your stateroom, because when you're sailing here, you'll be getting commentary from your cruise manager of what you're seeing. So if you're in the stateroom on the left and they're talking about what's on the right, you're going to miss it. So either top or right here, perfect views of everything along the river. So as I mentioned, we have a cocktail party every night before dinner. That is included, complimentary. All the excursions are included. So this is a good time for me to tell you what's not included. So what we don't include are gratuities. We feel that that's at the discretion of the guest. We'll give you guidelines and we leave that to you. We don't include the spa. We don't include the masseuse, the hairdresser, laundry, and the gift shop. Everything else is included. So unlike a big ship where, you know, they lure you on with a great price, and then you could spend as much money on the ship on all of those extras, that's not going to happen here. My very first river cruise, after being on the big ships for so many years, my bill was $180. And I was like, wow, what's that? It was just my gratuities and a couple of extra drinks, because we do include beer, wine, and soda with lunch and dinner, complimentary and unlimited. If you don't turn your glass upside down, it keeps coming, so be careful. But if you want to drink after dinner, you'll have to pay for that. If you want a cocktail with lunch, you'll have to pay for that. But otherwise, everything is pretty much included. Wi-Fi is included. It's not like the big ships where you have to buy a card, buy minutes, you know, get the bandwidth. It's all included with AmaWaterways. After the cocktail party, you'll make your way to the main dining room. Of course, like the big ships, the menu changes every single night. But again, we're cooking for 156 people, not thousands of people. So everything comes out beautifully presented, fresh, hot, and delicious. We were the first river cruise company to have the designation of the Champ de Rôtisserie, which is a culinary institute that we're very proud of. And then we also have on our ships a specialty restaurant. But unlike the big ships, we don't charge for this. So if you're traveling, you know, with Dusty and a group, he might make a group reservation for you. If you're traveling individually, you just go to the front desk, you make a reservation one night. It's small, it's intimate, accommodates 24 to 28 guests. As you can see, it has an open kitchen. So the difference here, this menu is a multi-course tasting menu. So where in our main dining room, you can pick and choose what you want. Here, it's a set menu. So you'll walk in, you'll be seated, they'll introduce the staff, the wines, and then it begins. You'll have your little amuse-bouche before you start. You'll have your palate cleansers in between, your little sorbets, but they do a beautiful presentation, wonderful, tasty, and very, very photo-worthy meals that you can have in the Chef's Table restaurant. And again, complimentary. Oh, I should mention that the menu there stays the same all week, so people usually just go one time. And then after dinner, whether you're in the main dining room or the Chef's Table restaurant, we have local entertainment. Now, I know my very first river cruise, I was a little nervous because I thought, oh boy, I'm a big show girl, I'm a big casino girl. What am I going to do at night? Well, I'll tell you the truth, dinner is leisurely. It's one seating, it's open. You'll be chatting, you'll be drinking that wine. By the time you get upstairs, you'll have some local entertainment. It could be a string quartet, it could be a dance troupe, it could be a glass blowing demonstration. It's local. It's not Broadway, it's not Las Vegas. But I tell you, by 10:30, I was done because every day you're in a port. You don't have these lazy days at sea like the big ships where you're just drinking pina coladas and napping. You're busy, you're taking in all this beauty of all these different great places you're going to, because you'll go to bed 10:30, 11 o'clock, because tomorrow morning you start all over again. So that's the main thing. So now looking at a particular itinerary. Now, Dusty has chosen the Captivating Rhine, and he's also chosen the Enchanting Rhine, which are very similar. They're in the opposite directions. So most of our itineraries are 7 nights, but we always offer a pre or post land extension. So let's look at the Captivating Rhine. As you can see here, you'll arrive in Amsterdam. If you'd like to do a few days earlier, you can, obviously, but the ship is there overnight. So if you don't have the extra time, that's fine. You're not going to miss the ship if your flight is a little delayed that first night. He's chosen the Captivating Rhine for July 16th of this year. That's 2025. And then it continues, so you're overnight. I'm going to show you pictures as we go along. Next stop will be Dusseldorf. When you're in Dusseldorf, you can spend time there or venture over to Cologne, which is a beautiful capital city here, where you can see the cathedral and other things that Cologne has to offer. The next day will be a sailing day where you sail along the beautiful Rhine River Gorge. Now, the Rhine River Gorge is a spectacular stretch of the river that has 40 or so castles and palaces and homes and residences that have a lot of history, a lot of meaning. The whole area is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And that's where I said you'll be getting commentary from the cruise manager of, who lived there, who died there, and all that kind of stuff. Ludwigshafen is the stopping point for excursions that will take you to Speyer, take you to Breisach. Well, the next stop is Breisach, but you'll have different excursions, and I'll go over those excursions when I'm showing you the pictures. Then you'll go to the beautiful, my favorite, Alsace region of France. So in this one itinerary, you've got 4 different countries that you're touching upon, but Strasbourg is very, very special. The Alsace region of France was occupied by the Germans, then the French, then the Germans, then the French. So when you're there, you'll see the German influence, the half-timbered homes, but now it's truly French. So it's got a great mix of the 2 countries. Then Breisach, Germany, where you could do an excursion that takes you into the Black Forest, great shopping for cuckoo clocks. And then you'll finish the cruise in Basel, Switzerland, where then you can continue and do a 4-night post package that takes you to Zurich and Lucerne. So the pre and post are totally optional. And again, like I said, the other direction that he's doing the Enchanting Rhine is October. So if you're a summer sailor, you might want to do the Captivating Rhine. If the fall is better for you, then Dusty's got space October 30th, which would be a lot of fun because it's Halloween. So October 30th of 2025.
Yeah, in Columbus, just real quick, the Captivating Rhine is July of 26.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
had 16th here. Apologize. Okay.
That's right. Just to make sure everybody understood. So.
All right. I'm glad you corrected me. So the 26th of July. Okay. The other one is October 30th, though, right?
Well, it's July of 26, July 16th of 26. Sorry, I was confusing you.
Yes, you are confusing me. So it's July 16 of 26. Okay.
Yeah, you said 25.
Yes, I did say
25 is 26. Yeah.
I did say that. Okay. All right, everybody got that? He'll follow up with an email with all of you. So now just some beautiful images. I mean, Amsterdam by day is spectacular, as you know. But then because we're there overnight, you have the opportunity, if you want to get off after dinner, go check out the red light district, go check out other areas. You've got that opportunity because the ship is there overnight. Dusseldorf, again, beautiful city. That's where the docking location is. So you can do a tour that explores Dusseldorf, or you can take the motor coach. We'll take you to Cologne, Germany, where you can see the beautiful cathedral there and the beautiful bridge. Then I mentioned the Rhine River Gorge, where you'll go sailing. That this is a not to be missed stretch of land. So you can sail and get all the commentary from the cruise manager of, again, whose palace is this? Whose castle is that? Really, really gorgeous on a beautiful day. And if it's not so beautiful, the main lounge is where you want to be. Then you'll stop in this quaint little town, Rudesheim, which I absolutely love. So before I mentioned about our excursions that you can take them at different paces. So if you're a gentle walker, we have a little shuttle that will take a little tram that takes you into the town of Rudesheim. If you are a walker, you can just get off the ship, walk to this little vineyard, and get into the heart of Rudesheim. Quaint little town. They've got a beautiful museum here. It's the what's it called? Siegfried's Museum, which the first time I went, I was like, what is this place? It's totally magical. It's all little different music instruments, little, like the old days of the carnivals where you saw the puppets in the wood casing where they're playing music. It's just a great place. So wonderful to see this. You can take a gondola ride over these beautiful vineyards, lots of great wine. Another thing about AmaWaterways, if you find a great bottle of wine that you want to bring on board back to the ship, we don't take it away from you like the big ships. You can enjoy it up on the top deck, enjoy it in your stateroom. I wouldn't bring it to the dining room because you're already getting complimentary wine there, but you can if you want to, if you prefer what you buy. You can bring that on board the ship. We will not stop you. So it's great added value too. And then in Rudesheim, you have to have a Rudesheimer coffee. It's coffee with this fantastic liqueur that they're known for. They light it on fire. They put whipped cream, chocolate shavings, really, really tasty. And then, of course, the beautiful city of Heidelberg, gorgeous castle here that you'll go visit. They have the world's largest wine vat or barrel, I'm not sure what you would call it, that's enclosed in this building. It's nestled on top of the Neckar River. So that's a view looking down from that castle. Absolutely beautiful, all the red tile roofs. Of course, there's always a church in the center of town, and there it is. So you'll have an opportunity. And again, we have a beautiful bike tour that's offered here. If you want to climb to the castle, you can. If you don't want to climb, we will drive you up and you'll just walk up at your own pace. And then I mentioned the town of Speyer, which is one of the oldest cities in Germany, and it's got one of the oldest Romanesque cathedrals there in the town of Speyer. And then the stop in Strasbourg, this is like the money shot right here on the left. They've got those beautiful window boxes, the beautiful Cathedral of Strasbourg. I did a Christmas market cruise here a few years ago. It was absolutely beautiful. And then again, so you've got these little bridges, little canals that you'll just pose for your perfect pictures. You see the half timber, which is that German, like Hansel and Gretel look to it, but it's actually French. And then Breisach, Germany, we've got a great hike through the Black Forest, if you'd like to do that, or a bike tour. The bike tours are all fully guided. There's a guide at the front, a guide at the back. They're not a race by any means. That's why we have 2 guides. And depending on the number of people that sign up, sometimes we even have 3 guides. But they're, like I said, not a race. They're just meant to, get you through to see different sites, just go off the beaten path a little bit. The bikes are on the ship. Unlike my other competitors that have to bring the bikes to the ship, we have them right there. We'll adjust the seat for you. We'll adjust your helmet for you, and you're on your way. Really, really nice way to experience the countryside. And then the cruise will end in the beautiful city of Basel. And if you choose, you can continue, like I said, to go to Zurich and Lucerne. Or if you have no interest in that, Dusty can hook you up and send you somewhere else after the cruise. He is a full service agent, so that wouldn't be a problem. And then I just threw in a few shots because Dusty does have group space also blocked for the Christmas markets. And let me see if I got this date right, Dusty. It's for December 12th of 2026, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to show a few images of the difference when you're looking at these beautiful cities in their full Christmas regalia. They do such an amazing job. This left-hand shot, this is the actual in front of the cathedral in Cologne. I stood here when the lights went on. It's just absolutely magical. You just walk through these different markets, taste the different foods. You have to have glue wine, which is that warm spiced wine. You buy a mug in one place, and it has the year. It's got the city on it. You know, it tells you it's Rudesheim or Cologne or whatever with the year that you're there. And then you can get refills as you're walking through the market. Like say you're spending €7 for the first one, but then the refills are 5. But every town has their own mug, the year, the city, and they make wonderful little collector's items or souvenirs to take home with you. So I would pack bubble wrap for sure on one of these trips. And then the ships themselves, they really go all out decorating not only the inside of the ship, but the exterior. Our ships are always aglow. All the other companies around us are like, wow, what's going on over there? Because it's always a party on an AmaWaterways ship. So they do a great job. So those are the 3 group dates that Dusty has space on. There's some gorgeous shot of Heidelberg all lit up. Strasbourg, as I mentioned earlier, one of my favorites. And then, of course, you know, we like to bundle everything together for you. So if you're doing our pre and post land, like if you're going to take that Zurich and Lucerne extension, know that with AmaWaterways, the cruise manager is with you on those extensions. So you will be taken care of every step of the way. If you book your air with Dusty through Ama, then we use, you know, all of the major carriers. We will get you there safely. You'll have peace of mind. You'll have all your transfers and everything will be included as well. So if you don't use our air, we can sell you transfers. But if you do the air with us, then it's all, again, packaged, nice bow, ready to go. And then we do have a show special. So anybody that makes a booking on any of these departures or anything else, you know, like if the Rhine is not your thing, you prefer the Danube or you want to go to the Mekong, I'll throw in $100 off per person for any new booking made from 2 weeks from tomorrow. And one of the most important things about AMA that sets us apart from our competition is that maybe you can't travel in 25 or the dates don't work for you. Maybe we're sold out on some dates that you wanted because remember, I only have like 75 staterooms on my ships. I don't have 3,000. We only require a $400 per person deposit to hold your reservation. Dusty's not going to bother you for your final payment until 90 days prior to departure. So if you know you get the right ship, the right date, the right itinerary, just put your $400 deposit down and don't worry about it until you have to make your final payment. Unfortunately, if you do cancel before your final payment, you will be in jeopardy of losing 50%. So you'll lose $200 per person because we really don't want people just tying up our inventory and saying, yeah, maybe I'll go, maybe I won't. No, if you cancel, you're going to lose $200. But it's really about, you know, finding the right ship, the right date, the right itinerary, and just put your deposit down because things fill very quickly. We had a record-breaking year last year, and this year is following suit. We're like 73% full right now for 2025. So that doesn't leave much space for 25. And like I said, if you can't find what you want in 25, book 26 now and know you're going. I like having things on my calendar. That's how I am. So I'll open it up for Q&A. I'll stop sharing. So there's Dusty's information. You all know him because you've been invited by him. So I'll stop sharing so I can see. I see there's some messages in the chat. So we'll take a look at that and see if they were questions or just comments or where'd it go?
Yeah, it was a question that I tried to address a little bit. Also in the chat, I did put flyers for all 3 of our groups. So we do have the Enchanting Rhine from October 30th to November 6th to 2025. And then the Captivating Rhine. This one is hosted by David Stevens there in Austin and his group there. This one is July 16th through 23rd of 2026. And then I'm hosting the Christmas markets on the Rhine, December 12th to the 19th of 2026. So all those, the flyers are there. And so hopefully I'll give you some information of the groups that we actually have. We also can book you on any AMA cruise you want to go on. So if the dates don't work out for you, we're happy to put you on any of the great itineraries. We've sailed the Danube before, which is one of my favorites. We've done it twice. And I would certainly do it a third time, given the opportunity. So it's great. One of the questions that came through was about
Water levels. I'm
flooding on the
looking
or
at it
the
now.
Rhine being low.
Yeah, I see
And
Regina
so
has a question, says, I have heard the Rhine can be low in the summer. Does that affect the ship? Good question, Regina. It comes up all the time. Water levels fluctuate. Sometimes they are low, sometimes they're high. When they're low, we have less of an issue because AmaWaterways ships are built with a shallower draft than most. So we can get to places where the other ships can't. But the nice thing about our ships, because we've got the Enchanting Rhine and the Captivating Rhine operating the same week in opposite directions, and the ships are exactly alike, if we are really stuck in one place and we can't move, then we will switch ships. So if you're in room number 222 on this ship, you're just going to pack your stuff, you're going to go to that ship, and you'll continue on. So it's a very, very rarely that we have to cancel everything. We make do. And you have to realize too, when you look at the map, these cities are all very close to each other. So
right.
you're enjoying the pleasure of being on the ship and sailing, but it's just maybe a little bit longer to get to that excursion if we're stuck in one port and can't move on. You're still going to be on this great ship. You're still going to be with 156 like-minded people that are having a great time. So it's less, high water is more of an impact than low water, and high water doesn't happen as often, thankfully.
Yeah, we did have a problem with high water on the last time we did the Danube, and we
I
made it most of the way. But the towns are so close together. I mean, rather than just stepping out on, into the city like you did before, it was like a 30-minute coach ride to the next town.
Right.
And so it was very easy to manage. We didn't feel like we were cheated in any way. It was still a magnificent trip. So they're great at working on the fly and getting all these things worked out, and so you're not going to miss anything anything on the trip that that they can provide for you. So we didn't really notice a difference. We just didn't wind up and pass out, so we
right. And then
we
when
went
you
to pass out, but we didn't get off and pass out. So
and then when you ask like how often, it's hard to say, because if it's a snowy winter and there's a lot of melt, then it might be high waters in the spring. If it's a very, very hot summer, we might have lower waters. You can't say when. 2 years ago, I think I always say, oh, September and May are the perfect times. Well, September 2 years ago, we had high water. It was a lot of rain that summer. You just never know. Just like, I always laugh because people always ask this question. I say, like hurricane season on the big ships, it's June to October, and that's the standard answer, but we never know when until it happens, so you just never know. Any other questions? Well, it was a pleasure being here. Nice to see you, Dusty. And I'm
you
sorry,
too. It's good to
I
see
didn't
you.
get to say hi to you earlier. Sorry, Steve. How are you? All right.
Any
Hey,
other questions? That's quick and easy. No
yeah,
questions. Well, listen, I hope this has given you a great idea of what Alma is all about. It's something that we love a lot. And, we love the sip and sails, and we love the dinners. The dinners go on for a long time. So, and your wine glass never is empty. So I'm not a big wine drinker, but I'd love to drink wine when I'm on the Alma cruise, because there's something about this very different. The experience and the wine. So it's an amazing thing. Um, how much is cruise? Yeah, Regina, that it depends on the itinerary and the cabin category you want to get into. I think if you look at the flyers, there's like an entry level for like the fixed window cabins, and so it just kind of works up from there. The price that you see on those include the taxes and port fees and all of that as well. So
is the pricing on your flyers, Dusty?
it should have the entry.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't open them
I
up.
think it'll say yes. It'll say starting at let's see, captivating. Sorry, Regina, you want the captivating Rhine? Yeah. Okay. Let me get it here real quick. Yeah. So the captivating Rhine, the fixed windows starts at $34.49 per person. And a couple of things that our first experience, like we had always imagined that river cruising was like for old people. And so we thought we were going to get on there. We'd be, we were the young, 50-year-olds who were going to be there with all the 80 and 90-year-olds. And we were actually in a very comfortable range. We were surprised actually how young some of the people were. Like there were newlyweds. There was a couple of groups of newlyweds on there the first time we went. But the age range was actually in our age range. I mean, it was 40s and 50s, 60s, and of course there were the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I wouldn't say 90s, but pretty close up there as well. But yeah, we were surprised like how the demographic was close to what we were than what we were expecting, and that made it a lot more fun because we were able to meet people that were for going through similar experiences as us, and it's a lot of fun. It's like my husband said, it's like going to summer camp. You get on there, you're kind of a little nervous, you don't know people, and then by the end of the trip, you are good friends with everybody on board. You know everybody's names, and it's just a great experience. You're kind of sad to see everybody go. Our rule of thumb when we travel with groups is like you're always invited, but you're never obligated. So you can be a part of the group, or if you want to go off and do your own thing, that is perfectly fine. It is your vacation to enjoy however you want to. And so if you want to be a part of us, that's great. If you don't want us, we're not going to be offended. We understand.
Right.
So,
And Dusty, what you're saying is like, even with our excursions and stuff, we're attracting a younger demographic, or not even
yeah.
younger, but more active. They're not just people that want to sit on the top deck and just watch the scenery. They're doing the bike tours, they're doing the hiking tours, and they're very active. I'm seeing people in their 70s on those tours, and they
Yeah.
love it. I mean, that's
Yeah,
why
it is. It's this weird dynamic too of like it compared to ocean cruising. Like it's slower than ocean cruising, but it's also very, very busy at the same time. It's kind of this weird thing. So it's very hard to explain if you haven't done it before. But it's very you feel like you're going very fast, but it's very calm and relaxing as well. Particularly if you've got an afternoon. The Rhine Gorge is like an amazing afternoon. You just sit there and watch the scenery go by. It's really a truly incredible experience. I think everybody should have.
Okay, well, thanks again for having me. I appreciate it. I will send you the recording so you can share it with others that might have missed this tonight. And I hope you all get to go on a river cruise with AmaWaterways.
Yeah, reach out to me or reach out to David Stevens. We'll be happy to get you on board.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.